Hello.
Hello.
Hello. All right, John, you messed it up.
That's terrible.
All right, try again. John, you got to go higher, a little bit higher.
Hello.
All right.
This is Another Man's Nostalgia with John.
You always say this. Do you want to say the plot? Mind if I say it?
Okay, I did the plot. All right, so
Okay.
Not what I
Chris
said,
just said I haven't done the plot in a while, and you said, okay, I'll do it.
oh, I thought you said you haven't done the plot in a while.
Chris.
So I also have an I and am in my name, so I made my own. My name.
Is it like a site?
It's I am Zax Topero Jester.
And Justin.
I wish it would wipe my memory.
The episode starts now.
How's it going, guys? Welcome to Another Man's Nostalgia, where we revisit everyone's favorite shows, movies, and games from the mid-90s to the mid-2000s. How'd you guys feel about this week in watching this awesome show that I thought was gonna be great?
Not quite sure. Not quite sure we just watched, actually, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
It was something, that's for sure. It was a show.
I hate
Not gonna
you.
die, it was a show. What did we watch, John?
John, I hate you.
Well, let's do nostalgia news.
You have nostalgia news?
Yeah, I got some nostalgia news. So we're watching Celebrity Deathmatch, which is on MTV.
Yeah.
And a new show that's on, or a show that premiered like around last month was Teen Mom 2. Did you guys ever watch like Teen Mom when you were younger?
Isn't that the show that like kids were getting pregnant so they can be on?
Yeah.
Yeah. Go on.
I thought it was interesting.
I watched
I
every
watched-
season.
I watched an episode or two. I never, because it was the girls that were on 16 and pregnant, and they went on to become teen moms.
Yeah.
It's so depressing.
It was super depressing. But I love I'm not a big reality person. The only reality shows that I watched when I was little was Jersey Shore and Teen Mom 2
Those are like
and Survivor.
Oh my
I
gosh.
watched Survivor
Okay.
too.
All right.
John. I have some choice words for those shows, and I don't think you would like it.
Also, we didn't mention this the last podcast, but around the time that we filmed that, Breaking Bad just hit its like 11th year off the air. Or 11th year that it got filmed or something like that.
Yeah, I think it started in 2007, so yeah,
Yeah.
it'd be about 11 or 12 years. That's crazy.
That is crazy.
It's weird.
Because
How does
I
it compare to Teen Mom 2?
What? What'd you say?
How does it compare to Teen Mom 2? I have
I don't know.
a nostalgia.
I never watched Breaking Bad, but I always heard such good things.
You never
about
seen it?
I've never seen
Oh
it.
my
Probably
gosh.
because you're watching that trash Jersey Shore.
If you guys can't tell, Justin is already mad at John about what we had to watch. He's going to be a little testy this entire episode.
I don't know what that over there is.
As soon as
but
he came
it's,
in, he was like criticizing John for like being late and like criticizing me for my apartment being messy. He's in a very weird mood because of having to watch this show. Well, I have the biggest nostalgia news, John.
What?
This show, Celebrity Deathmatch, is being revived next year or this
It
year.
is.
God.
No, it is. It is.
And it's starring Ice Cube.
But with
my
Ice
God.
Cube, and he is going to be writing it
Uh-huh.
and starring in it.
I will
and
not
the
watch 1 second
executive-
of that.
But the executive producer is the exact same executive producer as
Ice-
this season.
Ice Cube is writing it?
What?
Ice Cube is writing that? Is he a professional writer?
I don't know.
Ice Cube, I don't know if you listen to us, but please don't.
It's already in the works. It's already
in the
done.
works. They're already making little claymation characters.
It's already done.
Good lord.
All right.
So we watched
I hate this year already.
We watched 1 through 13
a Celebrity
episodes
Deathmatch, yeah.
of Celebrity Deathmatch.
Yeah, what does this mean to you, John? How did this help you?
It
out
didn't
in
mean a
life?
lot to me. It didn't mean a
Then
lot
why
to
did we
me.
watch it?
Because I told you before.
It was a very popular show.
It was a very popular show when in the 90s.
We don't always just watch things. We watch things that people recommend to us. We watch things that are just popular for the time.
Who recommended this? Which one of you fans did? I automatically hate you now.
Yeah, so it didn't really mean a lot to me. It meant nothing to Justin. I'm guessing it meant nothing to you either.
I don't think
I rarely even heard of it.
I don't think I'd ever seen it. I remember when it came out. I remember it being a thing. I didn't know anything about it.
All my edgy friends watched this show.
Oh yeah,
So like all the people that were part of the cool crowd.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was
I have
definitely
a
an
friend,
edgy
so-
thing to watch. It was like
Yeah.
the South Park of the day.
Yeah.
I knew of South Park.
What?
I knew of South Park.
Yeah.
I didn't know of this.
Okay.
South Park was a lot worse
Justin
than
wants to
this.
say the plot. Now remember, you don't want to leave anything out because it's very elaborate, very confusing. You have to be very intelligent to watch a show like this.
All right, so it's in some alternate universe,
Oh, here we go.
these people are made of clay, and for some reason take these celebrities and have them fight. I don't know if it's a fight to the death.
It
is
is
a
a
fight to
Sometimes
the
they
death.
don't.
It's called a death match.
It's supposed to be the death.
And and then people are able to come in and just no matter whenever they want.
Anything
Sometimes
goes.
they're monsters.
Anything goes.
Anything goes.
Yeah, I don't really.
Loch Ness monster fights in one episode.
Yeah, I and
what's
sometimes
the
The
confusing-
Loch Ness monster killing Bigfoot
like, one swipe.
immediately.
they fight each other and
fight
they're
each
clay.
Yeah.
All right. Sounds good.
There's a little bit of a plot to it.
A
But
little
we'll
bit.
talk
We
about
can
that.
talk about that. First, a word from our sponsor. Homebrew Tree Service has been providing the DFW area with world-class tree care for many years. When it comes to tree service in the DFW area, you can trust them to provide quality work, low prices, friendly and fair customer service. When you have a tree that needs pruning, or if you need complete removal or haul-off service, you can count on them for a wide range of expert tree care. Go to hbtreeservices.com and sign up for a free estimate. If you pick HB Tree Services, you barked up the right tree.
It's stupid.
Getting worse.
Okay. Sorry.
Here we go.
Justin's really excited about this one.
Yep.
Let's get ready to fun facts.
I like how you included the snaps, even though there's no music.
Because people get mad at me. I get hate mail if I don't snap.
That is true.
So it first aired on January 1st in 1998.
Good year.
So it started on MTV's Cartoon Sushi, and it was just that thing was just a bunch of shorts kind of put together to make it funny.
Okay.
And
Funny, quote unquote.
funny little shorts. So this featured the Charles Manson and the
Marilyn Manson.
Marilyn Manson fight. And
Right.
that's all it was. It was just that little short fight.
Which was funny because it's like the most evil man in the world because everybody thought Marilyn Manson was like a terrible, terrible
yeah.
human being and it's against Charles Manson, who actually was a terrible human being.
Yeah, for those who don't know about Manson, Marilyn Manson, a lot of his music was blamed for the Columbine shootings because they listened to him. And,
Oh, I didn't know that.
And people thought he was like some really big, like evil dude. And it turns out he's actually a very well-spoken individual and against a lot of that stuff.
Yeah, when
his
he-
art is just like really crazy. He was on a Family Guy episode and did the exact same. They talked about the
Yeah, I've
exact
seen
same
an interview
thing.
with him without makeup and everything. He's a very normal dude. Really,
He just has an eccentric artistic take on
In
music.
this show, he's super weird.
yes, he is.
He's super dark, super
He's in
goth.
like 4 or 5 episodes too.
Yeah.
It's really odd.
So what they did was they put it in that little short, the sushi, the cartoon sushi, and then a couple months later they brought it back for the Super Bowl halftime special that MTV had, and they played that short during it.
So not during the actual Super Bowl, but what MTV was doing during the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then 3 months later, because that had such a high rating during that time, they got their own like main lineup
Okay.
when it came to the time. So they were just the MTV was kind of testing the waters when it came to it just to see how good it would do, and it did really well, so they kept it.
Interesting.
But this guy named Eric Fugel, like Google but with an F.
Okay.
Eric Fugel. He created the show, and
I hate him.
he directed every single episode for the first 4 seasons. So from 1998 to 2002, he directed the episodes. In 2002, it got canceled
Yeah.
because
Took him that long.
Because people were like, wait, this is it? This is all the plot is?
But a lot of people liked it. A
Yeah.
lot of people liked
They
it
did.
when it got canceled. And then in 2006, it got rebooted from 2006 to 2007. And
Then they realized it was shitty again.
but
they moved
it was
on.
so it was without Fugel.
Ah.
I like saying his name. I don't know why. It's Fugel.
Fugel.
So it was out. The 5th and 6th season was without Fugel because he was making his own television show somewhere else on MTV.
Some might say it was Fugless.
So, was it called Rich
one.
People Kill Each Other?
So
Yeah.
it was called Starvanelius. Starvanelius. That's
Okay.
what it was.
We're watching that next.
It was called
feel-
Starvanelius.
I feel like you're maybe mispronouncing something.
Okay, hey, StarVeillance.
It's not helping me at all. I'm looking it up.
Don't worry.
Keep going.
Whatever. Anyway, so he was creating that show, so he couldn't.
Frugal.
Yeah, so he couldn't. He couldn't do the 5th and 6th season.
Okay.
But I want to. So I'm going to ask you guys some questions about him, Eric.
Okay.
And he's done some really weird things. So the way he started out, he graduated college in 1991.
Okay.
And
John, it's Fogel, not Fugal.
it's Fogle.
Yeah, I know.
I know, but that's how they would say his name. They would say it was Eric Fugel. So I said it like the video said it.
I'm looking
There
it
was
up.
2 separate videos that said it like that.
Starvation.
Anyway,
Yeah.
so
Fogel.
Yeesh.
it's Fugel.
No, it's not. It's Fogel.
Did he say Fogel?
Fogel.
Oh, he
Fogel.
said Fogel. Oh, my bad.
Yes.
It's awkward.
Good Lord, John. Keep that in. That stays in.
We have to. He talked about it like 10
I said it the whole time.
Good Lord, John.
I thought the video said Fugel. It's Fogel. Whatever.
This is all just going downhill.
Just like Google, the popular
Anyway.
search engine.
So
I use Google Drive.
he made a lot of shorts when he was in college, and one of his shorts became like really really famous, and it
Jean
came
shorts?
across the MTV's
Jorts?
and
Jean shorts.
Jorts.
Rompers.
short videos.
Okay. Sorry.
And one of his short videos came across MTV, the animation executive,
Okay.
and that's how he got his job at MTV.
That's
he
cool.
like saw one of his shorts from college and really liked it, so he gave him a job. His first show that he made was called The Head. What do you think The Head was about?
I don't know if I can talk about it on this podcast.
Based on Celebrity Deathmatch, it's something sexual. What was it?
No.
Oh my God! What the fuck?
It was about a high-spirited alien named Ron who survived on Earth by living inside the head of an everyman
Come look at
named
this.
Jim. His head is fucking huge. That was his first show on MTV.
Can you put that picture of that online?
Do you guys think it made it?
Okay, you know what this kind of reminds me of in a serious way? It's almost like Adult Swim for MTV.
Yeah.
Except not as successful.
Yeah.
So it got canceled.
Oh, surprising. What are the odds?
So this looks really stupid, but a lot of the Adult Swim stuff was stupid, and I think that was, even though we may not like it, for MTV, I think that was really important that MTV did that, because just like Adult Swim gave people, the chance to create really crazy comedy.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have a lot of that stuff without Adult Swim and probably MTV as well. So that's pretty important that they did that.
MTV was a really big deal around this time, and in like
I think it's a little bit of an
very
understatement.
early '90s and the very early '80s too.
That's an understatement how big MTV was. I think a lot of people underestimate how big TV in general was before the internet got really big. Even when we were in high school, it was still a big deal until you could watch any show you wanted online.
Yeah.
It was still to have cable, that was the big deal and everything.
Mm-hmm. So when it came to this show, it was the highest rated when it premiered for the first time. It was the highest rated episode in MTV history.
Really?
Yeah.
That's surprising.
Yeah.
Not that it was bad, not because I didn't necessarily like it, but just for how big MTV
But this
is.
is when MTV though was starting to branch away from just doing music. So they were probably doing the original content. This is probably one of the original content of its own.
You got Beavis and Butthead as well.
Yeah.
So Eric.
Thanks for saying that picture, Justin. You said the picture of that.
Throughout the years, as the show became more popular, the creator, he got the most creative. He was the most creative person, voted the most creative person in TV industry by the Entertainment Weekly.
Oh, okay.
So I thought that was kind of cool too.
Vogel?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's interesting.
Vogel.
The TV creator.
And the winner is Eric Fugel.
All right. So, and I'll get to more fun facts later, but I just wanted to say all those things.
Let's start getting into some favorite plot points. And
God.
favorite episodes. Okay, we're done. No favorite plot points. All right, least favorite.
All of it.
No,
there's some favorite plot points. Okay.
Not true. There were some cool things that were going on.
I liked how in the first episode, I guess it wasn't the first one because the first one was Marilyn Manson and Charles Manson, but the first time, I think it was probably the second episode, had a couple fights, and then they had two bands going at boy bands. And I forget who it was. It was Hanson and...
it was Hanson and the Spice Girls.
Hanson and the Spice Girls.
It wasn't the boy band. It was the battle of the
It was
teen bands.
And I liked how you're I was kind of in my head, I was like, I don't want to see, what's the point of these two fighting? But then as soon as they start, they say, this is the fight for who's the most annoying band. And I thought that was so funny that they taking jabs at this. And that's kind of when it kicks off.
This is how they describe the Spice Girls. It was statistics of annoyingness.
The Spice Girls are a true powerhouse of annoyance. They've got more annoying hits than Hanson, plus they've got an annoying movie, numerous annoying books, and a much more extensive variety of annoying merchandise. I think it's safe to say they're the favorite in this fight. And in the blue corner, we've got the Brothers Hanson. Don't underestimate the annoyance level of these boys. They too sell a lot of annoying records, and they're on the covers of innumerable annoying teeny popper magazines. You have to remember that they're a lot younger than the Spice Girls, so they have the potential to be extremely annoying for a much longer period of time.
I'm glad I don't remember the Hanson brothers being a
They only have one thing. It was the bop, bop.
It's a good song.
Bop.
Have you guys heard them play it recently? They played an acoustic
I've heard
version.
them do the breakdown.
It sounds great. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think they were very talented. It was just that one song, and then they couldn't do anything else bigger than that.
And then they went into a really topical one, which is pretty edgy. It was Hillary Clinton and Monica Lewinsky.
That was probably my favorite.
Was it?
Mostly because of Bill Clinton in there, always ordering food constantly while they were fighting.
Oh yeah, and he's heading on.
And then he says, "Hey, can you give me some of those nuts?"
It's really
Hey,
loud.
lady,
And everybody gets
can
quiet.
you give me some of those nuts?
And everybody gets quiet and looks at him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was interesting.
For those of you who are not old enough to remember, Bill Clinton was known to eat a lot. People make fun of Trump for eating McDonald's, but that's what Clinton did all the time too.
Yeah.
They even had an SNL skit where Clinton went to McDonald's and was stealing food off of everybody's trays. You gonna eat that Big Mac? It's eat somebody's half-eaten Big Mac.
I thought one fight that was weird was the Jim Carrey Mariah Carey.
Yeah, I thought it
fight.
was kind of annoying.
The worst joke in the series was when they did the pre-fight to that. They were fighting over a parking spot that said Carey,
yeah.
and Drew Carey came in.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, how is this funny?
You know, a lot of the impersonations weren't good. Jim Carrey specifically wasn't very good.
That might have been.
I thought Jerry Seinfeld's was
Well, I was
pretty
going to say,
small.
some of them were spot on to the point where I was like, did they guest star in this? Like, some of them are really good.
Yeah.
I didn't mind that too much because I think part of the charm was supposed to be that a lot of the impersonations were bad. Like Seinfeld's impersonation, that was pretty bad. Kramer's impersonation, that was pretty bad. So I think part of it was those to be like kind of terrible.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like an over-exaggerated part of themselves.
I thought the whole joke that the cast started fighting.
That was pretty good.
Or Jerry Seinfeld.
And that was kind of the first
really
time
good.
that you didn't have like them actually kill like each other, which happens a good amount where like there's a twist ending,
Yeah.
but that was pretty funny.
I kind of saw it from the beginning that would happen though.
Yeah.
When I get to it later, I'll talk about it. But like they built up the whole Tim Allen, Jerry Seinfeld thing,
Yeah.
and then nothing happened.
Right.
I was just like, well, duh.
I also like how there's kind of a continuous story in this.
Really?
Like,
It was.
I mean, like it's not like yes, but like you like if you miss something in the episode before, you might be confused. They usually do a recap, but a lot of the grudges that happen, it happens in a previous episode, and then they fight. Like David
because
Spade.
Oprah and Rosie O'Donnell came back to do the cage match
Yeah.
with Jerry Springer.
Yeah, David Spade argues with somebody in the fans, and then they the
Nicholas-
next episode they fight each other.
Jack Nicholson and
Jack Nicholson and who was it? Who did he fight? Leonardo DiCaprio.
yeah.
Yeah, and I thought that was kind of cool. And then you have Nick falling. One of the announcers falls off the banister, and he's in a coma for like 3 episodes.
I do like the bit where they don't. Whenever something bad happens, it takes them a while to cut to commercial. Like they
Yeah,
have
that's
to
pretty
yell
funny.
at them.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
why is anybody cutting to commercial yet?
Yeah.
That is a pretty decent bit.
So in one of these episodes, you have Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah.
What'd you call him?
Steven, but I call him Steve.
This is probably his name. His name's probably Stephen Austin.
But anyway,
Famous
he
WWE
was like a guest
wrestler.
announcer in episode 3.
Famous WWE
And he actually
wrestler, yeah.
voiced himself.
Yeah, he did.
So
I love Stone Cold. He's one of the better parts of it.
He was pretty funny.
So this is that was the episode with Oprah Winfrey and Rosie O'Donnell. They started fighting, and then
Right.
Jerry Springer parachutes in and kicks him in the head. It's a really weird show. It really is.
It's really there's a lot of offensive things that are said in this show.
Yeah, there is.
A lot of fat
a little bit.
jokes.
There was a couple of times that I was watching the episode and I like cringed. I was like, ooh.
Yeah, you can't say that.
So, I know this episode was stupid, and it was the
Just this one?
no, it was the 4th episode where the Loch Ness monster came in
And fought
he was,
Bigfoot.
and he was fighting Bigfoot. But I know this whole entire episode was stupid because it was with Mick Jagger and
They were
Steven
measuring
Tyler
their
fought.
lips?
Yeah, Steven
Like,
Tyler.
what the
David
fuck?
Letterman. What'd you say?
So that whole thing creeped me out. Number one, they measured their lips, and then they had the thing about Liv Tyler, how she had that weird music video with Steven Tyler, Aerosmith.
I don't remember the music
Well,
video.
in Janie's Got a Gun, she was the stripper in the video, and she was like 18.
That's a little uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And her dad was singing the song about it.
Yes. So that's why it was really.
Chris's face.
So that's why he was mad when he was sitting on Mick Jagger's lap, because the implication is they were together.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So what did y'all think of the winners of these fights? Did y'all kind of agree with them? Were you happy with who won?
I didn't care. Did you really care?
No, but watching it, I'm like, oh, I wonder if they're gonna have this person win. Usually, I was pretty close, and I was like, it
You
makes
were
sense.
trying to guess the winners.
Yeah, and usually I was right, or usually it was, or I was wrong, and it was both of them, which happens sometimes. Or which one? There's 2 of them that like made up and walked away. Was it Oprah and Rosie O'Donnell when they beat up Jerry Springer? I don't remember what it was.
No, because remember they said only one can leave the cage
Oh, that's
alive,
right.
and then Oprah throws Rosie through the gate.
That's right. That's right.
The cage.
I like the part where Michael Jordan is trying to sell things in his fights. He has like shoes and shirts. It's so fun.
Whether you're running, jumping, or kicking people in the head, you ain't got game unless you got Mikey's.
Michael returns to his corner for a refreshment.
Nothing gives me a thirst like a good beatdown. That's when I reach for a cool can of Peppy.
Yeah.
And-
So I got another fun fact about you.
Yeah.
Because we started to mention like a lot of characters that were in the TV show. There was a game that came out. When
Yes.
it came to
A video game, right?
Yeah.
That might have been fun.
So you would think.
Am I wrong?
It
What?
came out for PS1, PS2, Xbox, and PC.
Oh, wow. More
And
recent. Okay.
it came out in 2003.
Okay.
It got the worst rating in 2003 for a video game.
That's impressive.
They said the only good thing that happened was there was cool celebrity guest stars like in the background of like that were watching
That's
the
interesting.
fights
Yeah.
that weren't in the show,
Okay.
but you could tell who they were.
Yeah.
That was the only good thing that they could say about the video game.
What did you think of the claymation itself?
Very well done.
I thought it was awesome. For being a TV show where it was probably played weekly, it looked pretty good.
It was good claymation.
Yeah.
It was pretty good. I don't really have any fun facts about it, but like it would probably take a long time to do each
Absolutely.
episode.
Oh,
because
absolutely.
it's a stop motion.
Yeah.
So you have to take a picture of every single thing that's moving. It's just crazy.
Yeah. I don't know how they do it, but it's pretty.
Yeah,
I know it takes a long time for movies like this to do, and I don't know.
Kind of makes you feel bad to rip into it, but not really.
Well,
If you're gonna take all that time to animate, at least make it good.
who was the market of this for? Like,
Well, it was MTV, so it was more like teenagers.
yeah. Okay.
So
So do y'all want to get into the least favorite? Because I feel like Justin's been pretty quiet because he's waiting for us to talk about the least favorite.
I'll start.
well,
Well, first off, I want to say so we can tie in one of my favorite plot points of this show turns into my least favorite plot point because the best character disappears. There was a character in the first 2 episodes called Marv, and he is so funny.
Marv Albert, the NBA analyst.
There's a scene where like they're showing who is
Pamela
it?
Anderson.
Pamela Anderson's boobs, and he's like, "Let's see that replay. Let's see it over and over again." And they show,
Ladies and gentlemen, I don't care if they are surgically enhanced. I need to see that clip again. Look at those beauties. I'd like to shake that plastic surgeon's hand. Let's see that again. Let's see that again. Let's see that again.
We'll check back with Marv in a little while.
They cut away from him, and then at the very end of the episode, they're like, I wonder if Marv has anything to say. And they go back to him, and he's still doing the
let's
replay.
see that replay.
If he had stayed,
And in the next episode,
2 fights later.
and in the next episode, he's like talking about something. They just cut him off, like, "Thanks, Marv," as he's in the middle of talking about something.
if he had stayed,
If he had stayed, yeah.
I think it would have done the show a much
Yeah,
better.
because he was always a bright side. And then they said they got rid of him and got the girl in, who was fine, but she was kind of boring.
Why can't you keep the girl and Marv Albert?
Yeah, have Marv out for like 5 minutes. He's like the Creed Bratton from The Office of this. Like, he says one funny line each episode, makes the episode funny.
The bit of him being crazy and ridiculous, because I feel like you had so much crazy and ridiculousness going on in the ring. Is one of my issues is the announcers should have been that way. They were way too normal for what was going on.
I thought that was I thought it was kind of funny because when they were weird, it was really funny. Like when Nick Diamond had like a lot of crushes on he was like, "Oh, I would date her." Like he was talking about like Demi Moore and.
But see, that's not out. That's not as much out of this world as people fighting to the death,
Right, I guess
in a
you're
boxing
right.
ring.
I guess you're
I
right.
feel like their personality should have been multiplied by 10 in that way.
Right.
Like it just felt like, I guess kind of the bit is that they're acting so normal.
Yeah.
And something so crazy. But if you're gonna go that route, it just didn't work. Obviously, because they went that route. It should have been like everybody should have been in some way like Marv Albert. Like have some insane
Some quirk?
thing,
Yeah.
some quirk that you could hold on to.
Okay.
Because it didn't do anything else for me. Those announcers, it was just so bland.
That's funny because the announcers were my favorite part of the show.
They're probably my favorite.
There's nothing
too.
wrong with them. So let me say, there's nothing wrong with the announcers, but I just felt like it would have worked better if they were more crazy. It would have
Well,
helped.
I feel like they kept trying to reamp the craziness because they kept bringing in guest announcers.
Yeah, like Jack Nicholson was weird.
They played them too much straight. They played them too straight when they should have been just as crazy as everybody else. That's my opinion.
But I feel like because they're so straight, that's what makes it funny.
Yeah. I mean, I think it was. I kind of more agree with John. I think that they were kind of funny because they were like act like this is completely normal and they're seem normal, but like there's people killing each other and they just like they just make like.
He's like,
puns.
oh, let's see that replay.
I don't know.
They kind of remind me of the announcers from Wipeout. Y'all remember Wipeout?
Yeah.
They kind of remind me of
yeah.
that. Like they make a lot of little puns and stuff while they're narrating, and they have like kind of funny little lines they say, but you know what I mean?
They just weren't as good.
Yeah.
If they're
But
like
you know what they
little-
should have done? They should have done a Wipeout where they have one normal guy and one kind of weird guy. That part would have made it better. So I'm half in between you two. Justin, Don liked it normal. Justin, you wish you were quirky. I wish one of them was quirky, one was normal.
I think that's probably the better route.
Kind of an ESPN 8 the Ocho type.
I think what you just said is a better route. Having the straight man, having your Marv Albert.
Yeah.
Just like that SNL skit where they have the guys talking about the Lay's products all the time.
Yeah.
That's what it should have been.
Or Cotton Pepper from ESPN
Yeah.
8 the Ocho.
Yes, no, I'm being told that Average Joe's does not have enough players and will be forfeiting the championship match.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for them.
That would have been perfect.
Yep.
I think that would have made this show a lot more palatable for me.
Okay, fair enough.
Well, 4 seasons when it just started to go downhill because a lot of people said that it was just like a lot of things repeating itself.
I got that from the first season.
I got it.
Oh, in
I
the
got
fourth season.
I got that from the first season.
I got that from episode 4.
So a lot of people stopped watching it around the 4th season. It rebooted itself.
Man,
like
the
I
90s
said.
must have been really boring. I don't remember it, but
Yeah.
good lord.
It rebooted itself again in 2002, and a lot of money got put into ads for this 5th season.
Okay.
And but they changed the animators, they changed the writers, and they changed the voices.
Uh-huh.
So they changed everything about the show. 5th season. The 5th season
Because it
got
worked so well.
2.5 million views, but by the 6th season, there wasn't even 100,000 people watching it. So they had to cancel.
I'm not gonna. So
You know what episode gag I kind of liked in this was the episode when the beer, they're trying to sell the beer, and every time they show them, they have more and more swag on for this beer company. And then the beer company like gets rid of them at the end. That was pretty funny. I was
There
talking
was
about
actually a couple of commercials for this this show that Nike sponsored. So like it was like a Nike commercial, but it was through like Celebrity Deathmatch.
interesting.
Yeah.
Let's go over
So
at least.
it could have been because of that whole Michael Jordan episode. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Let's go over least favorite episodes. You want to do that? Or least favorite plot points? That sound good?
I don't know if Justin should say anything.
I'll start just so I can get out of the way.
Go for it.
So I admit there's funny parts in it.
Oh,
I laughed.
What?
I
Tell
laughed.
me one.
I laughed out loud.
John got a point.
Maybe
Give me a point for this.
We stop right there. Okay, Chris.
I laughed
Also,
out.
What you
points.
think of the show?
You get 2 points for it.
I genuinely laughed maybe 3 times.
Justin, take a couple more
What
shots.
what 3 parts did you laugh at?
So
You know, if you don't remember, it's okay.
anything. So I want not necessarily a specific thing, but specific things that they would do. Marv Albert made me laugh. The whole Hillary Clinton Lewinsky fight made me laugh.
Mm-hmm.
And then there were certain points where, like you said, the little one-liners they did
Yeah.
were pretty good.
Okay.
Other than that, I could almost predict what joke they were going to make about certain celebrities.
Okay.
Most of the time, I was like, "Oh, they're going to make this." Oh, they're going to have Jerry talk about his nothing jokes. He's going to start saying somebody's going to ask something, and he's going to go off a joke about it. Lo and behold, that's what he did. Things like that.
Yeah, but Justin knows like things about everyone. He's like a trivia guru.
He's
He's like a Tony Romo of this podcast.
the issue with it was like the jokes were so obvious.
Okay.
And that's okay sometimes. There's nothing wrong with having obvious jokes when they're well done. But it's just it's just the same thing over and over and over.
Okay, but let me say this. You're right. It hasn't aged well. But if you think about it at the time, all these jokes for these specific characters were new.
But we're not talking about it from that time.
I know.
We're seeing if it holds up.
You also have to remember that this was a time where internet wasn't as big of a thing. So you couldn't just go online and like read the latest gossip on people. So these were just things that people just like heard rumors about these stars
On
from
TV.
I can bet
TV
you
or magazines or something like that.
I bet you $50 if I saw this when I was 11 or 12, I would like it.
Really?
I can bet you. I would actually. I completely would tell you I would have liked this.
Yeah.
And if I watched it again now, I'd be like, "What the fuck? Why did you like this?"
You also wrote down.
I definitely can see why
Why did
people.
we watch this?
Yeah, I said, why do I have to watch this? I get that why people liked it.
You know why we have to watch it, Justin? Because this is one of the most important TV
I hate
shows
you.
to ever come out.
I hate you.
It is. It set the foundation
for
hate you.
for celebrities killing
for
each other.
celebrities everywhere that hated each other.
My least favorite points. I liked it. Okay, I liked it too. Justin's flipping us off. I like it to an extent.
I'm already mad enough.
Well, I kind of got weirded out. So they had a Fandemonium episode where I'm guessing people went online or called in to the actual MTV and picked the fights they wanted to see. And one of the fights was Jenny McCarthy and Carmen Electra fighting in a mud fight in bikinis. And it kind of creeped me out. Like,
what's wrong with
like, are there people?
Why are you surprised?
Are there people that are watching this show that are like getting turned on by watching these two clay versions?
What I'm thinking,
It's clay. They don't look like them.
What I'm thinking is they asked who would you want to see in a fight, and they said these two people, but the writers of the show said, "Hey, let's do it like this."
So were the writers attracted to clay? There's something just creepy about it that made me a little creeped out. The Pamela Anderson.
Okay, hey, listen.
That's because you're a normal human being.
There is some sexual like parts in this show.
Right.
I don't think it's to make it like sexual. I think it's just to make it funny.
No, I
like
know.
with Pamela Anderson's boobs.
But that was funny because it like went up to her arms. Like that was like unrealistic. It was like her power source. That was kind of funny. But seeing two people in mud with bikinis just kind of creeped me out. And then like Demi Moore rips off her shirt at some point. And maybe that's because of how she was. I don't know. It was kind of weird to me, but maybe not.
Okay.
But
I guess you just don't like to have fun.
And then this show got old really quick. Around episode 8, I was like, I don't want to watch any more of this.
No, it did.
I would say 4.
No, it did. I would say probably the same with you. I got kind of kind of bored.
Yeah.
I got kind of bored of it around. I would say 7 or 8.
Yeah.
That's about halfway through.
Right. So I mean, yeah. Well, did you have any other least favorite plot points other than them taking off Marv? The best part. Did you have anything else, John? You want to talk about?
I liked that. Let's go into a little bit more detail about my favorite part of the show. It's when Diamond gets hurt.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
And he had to go to the hospital
when his kid is there.
Yeah. So Nick Diamond,
one of the announcers.
He's one of the announcers. He brings his kid to work that day.
Yeah.
And it was some weird fight that was going on.
It was
some screenwriters.
Right, right.
And they had
it was Tarantino.
No, it wasn't Tarantino.
No, it was writers.
It wasn't the writers. It was the film critics.
Oh, Roger Ebert.
Yeah, and then they had like a thumb thing.
Siskel and Ebert, sorry.
So they had to like tie their thumbs together, and then one of them got their thumb ripped off, and then he hit the
podium
that the announcers were on, and Nick Diamond fell.
Yeah.
And it was so funny because he falls and the other announcer's like holding his kid, like consoling him. He's like, don't look. And he's like, go to commercial.
And they keep going back and like crying and stuff. And in the next episode, the executive producer's son comes on and he's going to be like the replacement of... Oh, no, first it's Jack Nicholson.
No, it's Jack Nicholson first. And Jack Nicholson does a really good job as the announcer because he tries to keep banging Sidney Crawford.
That's why I wish they made the announcers all the time.
Like
even
quirky,
if they flip flopped them like that, that I was actually a little bit interested because now I heard different lines.
Yeah,
sure. I can see
If
that.
they like a main guy and another celebrity on there, that would have been a lot better.
But then, one of them, Sidney Crawford gets fat, and he's like, "Oh no, I don't want to bang her anymore."
Right, because the deal of whoever wins the fight is Jenny. Who is he fighting? I don't remember. But she has to. I guess she's fat in real life. I don't know. And then she has to lose 50 pounds. And if Cindy Crawford loses, she has to gain 50 pounds within like a week or something, or like within like a couple hours.
By the end of the episode, by the end of the fight.
So they both lose. So they both have to do it. And so they just keep showing Cindy Crawford like eating and eating and eating. The other girl's like running or something like that. But yeah, it's interesting.
So anyway,
Yeah.
that whole entire episode, Nick Diamond's in a coma.
Yeah.
And then the last episode that he's in a coma, anyway, they open his eyes at the last episode he's in a coma to watch the episode.
Like
even though he's in a coma.
Good stuff.
And the executive producer's son
Yeah.
becomes the announcer, the little douchebag.
Uh-huh.
That was my favorite, like, I guess span of episodes was just that storyline.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. Justin, you finding that funny?
It was all right.
Okay. All right.
I mean, I tried my best to get into this.
I understand.
I couldn't.
I understand.
I know.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you, Justin.
I did try my
I
best.
appreciate it.
I watched all of them. I didn't fall asleep. How about that?
That's a good sign.
I didn't take a nap during it.
All right, let's do favorite and least favorite characters.
Okay. My favorite character was Nick Diamond.
Marv Albert.
Let's put that out there.
Marv Albert. Nick Diamond was pretty funny. In one of the episodes, he's like, he fights somebody. He's like, I can take that guy. And he goes out there and tries to fight him.
I think his dream was really weird when he had Elvis.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Fighting, yeah. I didn't like those. They had a couple of like flashbacks where like Frank Sinatra fights.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't like
That was
those.
weird.
Yeah.
That was weird.
Jack Nicholson I thought was pretty funny.
He was good, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Bill Clinton.
Bill Clinton was pretty funny.
Everything else.
Everything else was all right.
Stone Cold was good.
So that was good.
Manson, like when Marilyn Manson, I liked his fights.
So if I read correctly, Marilyn Manson wrote a song for this. Is that right? Is that accurate?
He did write a song for this, and it's kind of weird. He wrote a song for it, and then did a music video for the show. But then the music video got interrupted, and there was like a big old fight that broke out like at one of the main events, and he fought someone else
In real life.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, like in the show.
Oh, he is a claymation music video.
He was like, yeah, it was a claymation music
Gotcha,
video.
okay.
So there was a music video that was a claymation music video that he was about to perform, and then it got interrupted by like this guy that came on stage, and then they fought, and it became like a wrestling match.
I see.
But then later on that year, a claymation like music video came out for like just this song.
Oh.
And it got nominated for like best music video for 1999.
Really?
And didn't win.
It's funny that Marilyn Manson was so okay with them doing this.
Yeah.
Like, because they call him like the most evil man in the world or whatever.
Yeah, but no, I guess
I'm sure he wrote off on
I guess
that.
he played it off really well. I don't know. But this show, lastly, I guess, the show tried to get rebooted in 2016, but MTV's just said no.
Okay. We've tried. It
It's
doesn't
not gonna
work.
happen.
And apparently, they said yes this time around because they've lost ideas.
So
they have Ice Cube.
there was also a movie that was being planned in 2003.
Wow.
They said no.
Oh, can you
Thank
imagine how bad
God.
that movie would be?
It got canceled before anything could get released.
It'd be so long. Oh, that sounds terrible.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Do you want to do final thoughts?
All right. Chris, go, and then I'll go.
Okay. Okay. What I liked about it.
I'm doing happy music.
What I liked about it was I don't remember the views that the audience had of these characters this time. Like you had Bruce Willis, who now is kind of known for doing a whole bunch of movie bombs and kind of cashing out. But at this time, he was like still pretty popular from the Die Hard movies and everything. So it's kind of funny seeing those guys like in the views they had of them then. You know what I mean? Like Monica Lewinsky and Hillary Clinton. Like
It's a very dated show.
right. But it was kind of interesting to see that plot. Like
But at the
Hillary
time-
Clinton is now known as like a specific way. I won't get into it because that's politics. But like not how she's depicted in this, and it kind of makes you realize what they viewed her like. So I thought that was kind of interesting because a lot of these I didn't care about celebrities. You know, when I was 8 years old, whenever this came out.
Yeah.
But all in all, I did not like it. There was a lot going on. It got really boring really quickly. I found myself towards the end skipping the fights because I found that part boring. I found the announcers and stuff kind of interesting, what they would say about the characters. But
The fights do get better.
Yeah, I mean, okay, do they? Okay. But sorry, John, no points. I wouldn't mind watching again if you made me, but no points.
No, don't say that.
I'm just saying.
No.
Justin says no.
There's certain things I don't want to watch again. This one, if I had to, it wouldn't. Like,
No.
Okay,
Oh.
go ahead.
John.
You say your opinion now.
Here's a few things that I wasn't happy about. Number one, I just found out today that you didn't watch it when you were a kid, really. I thought you watched this, all the time. You didn't. So number one, you made us watch this piece of shit without even really having nostalgic feelings for it. And it wasn't even given to us by a fan. And if it was, I would hate that fan anyways.
Okay.
I can see why, like I said, I probably would have found this funny when I was a kid.
Okay.
And I didn't fall asleep. That was the good thing. But
It's always good.
I'm going to throw this. This is a hot opinion out here.
Here we go.
Right? This is worse than Dragon Ball Z.
That's not true. That is not true.
This was worse.
No, it was not. You're wrong.
I hated this more than Dragon Ball Z.
Let's put it up to the people. Is this worse than Dragon Ball?
What about this is worse than Dragon Ball Z?
Dragon Ball
The
Z.
fights are 5 minutes long, not 5 episodes long.
Dragon Ball Z.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing about
Dragon Ball Z attempted a plot.
This one did get Nick Diamond fall.
This, it's so infuriating because there's a lot of potential here. That's what makes me mad about this. If they switched a few things here and there, this would have been for me a really funny show.
Justin, you can't do that. I know you're giving your opinion now, and that's what we do for this show. We give your opinion now. But you can't say you should change these little things because you just told me when you were little you would like the show.
But now, that's not the point of this show, though. The point of us is talking about is, does it hold up now? And to hold up now, if we changed a few things, it would be funny. I get it. Yes, I get it, John. Okay? It would have been funny to me.
So hold
all right?
up
I
now.
know. This is hypothetical. All right? If we changed it now, I think it would have been funny. I know I can't go back and change it. I know I would have found it funny.
So
it's my opinion. I can say whatever I want.
I know.
Okay.
To hold up now, I feel like the only thing that they would have to change is the jokes and the celebrities that they
I completely disagree.
I don't.
I think a lot of it is just nothing was funny. Even if you updated the jokes, it wouldn't have been funny.
You have to have more of a. You have to have more of a plot. If they're going to remake this, it's going to fail again.
There's a reason why it didn't work back in 2007 again.
Right.
There's a reason why when they tried to reboot it, it didn't work.
It's the same reason that we got tired of it by episode 8.
Over and
They had to
over
do something
and
else.
over.
Yeah. But that is, I'm not agreeing with you that it is worse than Dragon Ball Z.
It's worse than Dragon Ball Z.
No. It's not.
I swear to God, I've had to watch the season 2. I quitted this. I hated this show. One of the top.
I feel like I've heard this before.
This is one of the worst shows we've ever watched. Worse than Dragon Ball Z. And the worst part is you only watched 2 episodes when you were a kid.
Yeah.
That's fine though.
0
All right,
points.
No. Justin, that is not worse than you making us watch shows you know are bad just to make us watch it.
At least I know they're
so much
bad.
worse than him watching 2 episodes. And
At
saying,
least I admit it.
I didn't know
And
this
it was
bad.
nostalgic to me.
I didn't know this was bad.
I didn't know it was going to be bad.
At least it was nostalgic to me.
Whatever.
What nostalgia did this have for John?
It doesn't
Oh, the
matter.
cool kids watched it.
We're going to run out of things that we found
okay.
nostalgic. We're going to watch.
This is getting really intense.
Sorry.
The show sucks. 0 points.
Celebrity Deathmatch is going to be the end of the podcast.
I hate you all.
We're watching season 2.
John, tell us your thoughts. Watching season 2?
All right.
Sucked.
This show did not suck.
Yes, it did.
I do feel differently that Justin did. I feel like if they...
I think the show sucks, so you disagree with me too. This is not as bad as Dragon Ball Z. Okay, go ahead.
I feel like if we were watching it with celebrities now and they had jokes about celebrities now that were like new, that were brand new jokes that just came out for the celebrity. I don't know, an example of a celebrity that's like insane right now. That would be like a really good joke that
I mean, it'd probably be like Miley Cyrus.
Miley Cyrus twerking on and like killing someone by twerking on them. I would think it would be funny.
That's the dream.
Go email Ice Cube. I'm sure he needs ideas.
He's having trouble.
Yeah,
He's got to get it off
like
the ground
that kind of
somehow.
stuff. People would laugh at that
Yeah.
if Miley Cyrus killed someone by twerking on them. They would laugh because
John-
it's funny because it's jokes about a celebrity that you know is ridiculous right
Justin,
now.
how is this any different than like South Park?
South Park was kind of close to this, but South Park was a lot more smart with their jokes.
I don't know, man.
Depends on, like I said, early South Park was definitely a bunch of fart jokes.
Yeah.
And cursing.
All right, just-
but the farther you got into
Oh, that was a terrible plot point of this. Howard Stern's farts. That was so annoying.
Melting people.
And then he can't do it at the same time because he's like
that
buttering
was,
them.
that was a
But
bad
South
fight.
Park started to hit their stride in season 6 and 7
Uh-huh.
when they started doing topical, and they started commenting a little
This
bit
is
more.
topical. I got your back.
Don't
John.
compare that to South Park.
I don't like South Park, so I was just comparing the two. Go ahead.
Okay, so
It's a completely different type of humor.
what I thought about the show was it was very dated. My opinion is if it wasn't dated,
It's a wrong opinion.
if it wasn't dated, like I hope this like reboot is gonna be, I don't think it would have been a terrible show.
They're gonna be
It
strutting
still
out
would have been.
Robin Williams
me-
and Jim Carrey
It
fighting
still
each
would
other.
have been a mediocre show, but it would have been. There would have been laughable moments here and there.
Okay.
If it was relatable. I didn't like the show.
Okay.
So
I was worried there because
don't-
it sounded like you did.
we don't have to do season 2.
Oh my God! Thank you.
Okay. That's funny.
God, this show is terrible.
So you're gonna take the negative 1 point?
Yeah.
Okay.
You deserve it.
It wasn't terrible.
I'll take the negative point.
All right. So next week I'm going to kind of explain this. So every season we try to do a trilogy of some kind. I think the first season we did basketball. Last season we did what did we do?
Baseball.
Baseball. This season we're going to do something a little different. So in the last 2 years or in the last 2 seasons that we've been talking about shows we like, we've always kind of talked about the fact that there's been live adaptations of things that we've liked that have turned out terrible, and all three of us have one. So we're going to do something called the live action trash trilogy next, where all three of us have a
that
live.
name.
All three of us have one. We know it's bad. We know we're not going to get any points for it, but we're just going to knock it out and just take care of it. So the first week, we'll do mine last. So John's going to have one. John's going to do Dragon Ball the movie.
Oh my
based on
God!
the
No!
Based on
No!
Dragon Ball
Movie
Z.
is terrible.
This is punishment for today,
But
isn't it?
guess-
You've seen this before? It's not very good. Justin, have you seen this before?
No, this is
No, but
terrible.
I just looked at the poster for it and I already hate it.
Okay, I'm not excited about it either. Justin, you're gonna do the last Airbender movie, which is
I hate myself.
Which is so bad.
This was probably a top 10 disappointment movie for me.
I haven't seen it since we all watched it together in theaters,
Me
and
either.
and I was completely crushed. So I'm kind of excited to see it again.
We have a story about when we saw that we'll talk about.
We'll talk about it.
I was not crushed about this because I didn't have any faith in this
Really?
movie. So I didn't go into this movie with high standards.
Okay.
I remember specifically watching you guys watch this movie and seeing your face.
Our smiles
get
just turned to
destroyed.
red.
That's when we were young and naive.
You were so distraught.
We should have known it
after
when
you got
Aang,
out of this movie.
Aang did not have a piece of dialogue in the trailer. We should have known it was going to be terrible.
I thought it was gonna be awful.
Okay, and then mine, which is going to be next week, which is why I'm going last, is going because we're doing this next week. It's going to be the Super Mario Brothers movie
Oh no, no, no,
from
no.
late '80s. Bob Hopkins, the other guy, I forget his name. It's terrible. I haven't seen it in a long time. I liked it when I was little, but I know it's really bad. So that's what we're gonna watch next week. Super Mario Brothers, just to kick off
Is
our
this
trash trilogy.
It's going to be 3 weeks of rant.
It's gonna
isn't
be
it?
3 weeks of brutal watching. But you know what?
Oh my
we
God.
like to put ourselves through torture sometimes for the fans. So that's what we're gonna be doing next 3 weeks. Next week will be that. John, you want to send us home?
You can find us at Another Man's Pond on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. You can also email us anything that you would like to email us when it comes to comments or just reviews of us. You can do that at anothermanspod@gmail.com. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Podbeam, and pretty much anywhere that you can listen to a podcast. Hopefully.
Yep. 100% wherever you listen to podcasts.
Every single time I say this, I look at you and you get this awkward face like it's not, I'm lying. Like I'm lying to people about this.
I don't know about the places you can listen to podcasts. I think they're everywhere. SoundCloud might be a little out of date, but that's just part of it. You gotta deal with that.
But you can also leave us a comment at those specific applications. You can also rate us on those applications too. Please rate us on Apple Podcasts. It really helps other people find us. Mm-hmm. We also have a Patreon, so if you would like to give to our podcast, please go to our Patreon.
Yep, get some exclusive footage that we haven't released to everybody else.
Yes, and if you do give to that Patreon, I would say $1.
$1 is all we need.
If you give $1, we'll give you a shout out and we'll take your suggestion of whatever you want us to do.
Yep.
So we have that as well.
Yep. We're gonna make a hat. We'll put your suggestion in a hat. We'll shake up the hat, and we'll use that suggestion from the hat.
Okay. You sure?
Sure. A hat will be involved somehow. Okay. All right. Well, we'll see you next week with Super Mario Brothers. It's gonna be really good.
Yours first?
Yeah.
Oh no.
All right. Well, thank you all for listening. Good fight and good night.
Peace.